like a sheep led to still waters, like a sheep led to deep pastures. Lead me to rest, lead me to calmness, lead me to peace, lead me to safety, lead me to you, Lord, like a sheep led to still waters.
All right, Shalom, Shalom. This is Howard One by Yasha Allah of the Lions Den Camp. Before I begin, I want to say Call Halayim, La Yahawah, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Harakah Kodash, Ma'amath. Double honor to the elder apostles of GMS and the elders. Shalom to you, Akim, and Akwatim and children that believe in sincerity and truth around the four corners of the earth. The date is August 13th, 2026 AD. The time is 7:28 a.m. This is going to be an impromptu lesson, all right? And the scripture I want to focus on today, it's just going to be a straight a straight read from Sirach chapter 2, all right, dealing with faithfulness to the Most High, faithfulness to Yahweh. All right, and the perfect example of that faithfulness is Yahushua. Now, I'm gonna get that real quick. This is Romans 8:29. For whom he did foreknow, he also did predestinate to be conformed to the image of his son, that he might be the first among many brethren. All right, so Yahushua is the first among many brethren that walk in faith. All right. And we're being conformed to that image and reflection of Yahushua. Example. Let's see, image, icon, meaning likeness. All right, used of the moral likeness of renewed men to Yahweh. So used of moral likeness. All right, so we're reflecting the moral likeness of Yahushua. All right, after we are become renewed men, in the truth. The image of his son, in which true followers of Yahushua are transformed in likeness, not only to the heavenly body, right, which is coming, but also to the most holy and blessed state of mind which Yahushua possesses. We're being brought to that holy state of mind. Matter of fact, sheesh, it's crazy, man. He literally not just leading us to new bodies, but a new mindset, new attitude, new way of thinking, right? Renewed faith. Let me see if I can get this. This is Philippians 2:5. Let this mind be in you. Let this mind be in you, which was also in Yahushua, who being in the form of Yahweh, the form of power, thought it not robbery to be equal with the Most High. Meaning what? Being aligned with his spirit, right, and righteousness, okay? But made himself of no reputation and took upon him the form of a servant and was made in the likeness of men. So, let me see. Right, let me get this. So basically what? Let this mind be in you. Okay, there you go. First Corinthians 2:16. For who have known the mind of the Lord, that he may instruct him. But we have the mind of Yahushua. All right. And what mind does Yahushua have? This right here. Um, where is that? Hebrews 11:6. But without faith, it is impossible to please him. That's just it, man. I'll leave it there. Because you know, for he that cometh to Yahweh must believe that he is, that he's our power, and that he exists, and that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him. Right. So he's a rewarder of the believers that diligently seek after Yahweh, seek after his help, his favor, his guidance. And he's building this. In matter of fact, let me get that. Oops. This is where is it? Uh, where's that scripture, man? 1 second. There you go. This is First Corinthians 3:6. First Corinthians 3:6, and it says, wait, there you go. 3:7. First Corinthians 3:7. So neither is it he that planteth anything, neither he that watereth, but Yahweh that giveth the increase. All right, what's the increase? The increase is the growth process where the Lord is raising us from babes in the truth, in the spirit, to like Paul said, when I became a man, I put away childish things. Yeah, we're being groomed and got and gilded and guided to the image of Yahushua, all right, the likeness. Where is it? To get to grow. All right. So just like the trees in the ground, the one water, the other plants, and it's the Most High that gives the increase. Meaning guiding it to the. We say we have potential, but we have to be guided to our destination. All right. To cause to grow, augmentation is like you grooming a tree. It helps it grow. To increase, become greater. All right. Even in your finances, in your spirit, in your attitude, in your household, in your relationships, in this truth, in your teachings, all right, in every area of your existence, the same way Yahweh has done this for Yahweh Shai, all right, of inward followers of Yahweh Shai's growth of multiple people, all right, of plants to grow up, give increase. So it's the Most High that's growing us and increasing us. Let me get that. Uh, First, Second Peter's 1:19. We have also a more sure word of prophecy, whereunto ye do well that ye take heed, as unto a light that shineth in a dark place until the day dawn. See, he's preparing us and building us to that day, to when we see him, we'll be as he is. So we're already mimicking him and being built in his likeness. And then when we see him, it's going to be that much easier to just, um, what would be the word? Transform to his likeness in his presence. All right. Until the day dawn and the day star arise in your hearts. So, this is faith and our belief, trust, which goes into faith, which is our, gives us our drive. All right. So what I wanted to read is Sirach 2. Let's get to the scripture, man. It says faithfulness to the Most High. Chapter Sirach chapter 2. My child, if you are going to serve the Lord, I'm reading in the translation. I'm trying not to get too many scriptures. I just want to read it. My child, if you are going to serve the Lord, be prepared for times when you will be put to the test. All right, you're gonna be tested in temptation. You're gonna be tested in your faith. You're gonna be tested in your patience. All right, your knowledge, your understanding. You know, your humility. So we're gonna be tested in all these areas as the Lord is molding us into the Lord's Yahweh likeness. Matter of fact, let's get that. Oops. This is Ephesians 4, and let's go to 12. For the let's go to Ephesians 4 and 10. He that descended, right, that came down from heaven, is the same also that ascended up far above all heavens. Damn, into the fourth dimension. All right, that he might fill all things, right, through his spirit. Because on earth, um, in the on earth he was limited. He was made a little lower than the angels, but being put back in that and being exalted in the spirit realm, he was given the engineer's seat again. And Yahweh sending his spirit out, Yahweh Shai's spirit out, all right, and giving him more power to guide us, to groom us, take things from us that we don't need, give us things that we do need that will enhance us into our belief, into the character that he sees us to be. That's why when Yahweh Shai spoke to Peter, he said, "What he basically was saying that he had the potential. He knows his potential of what he's going to become." Right? But Peter couldn't see it. Peter was driven by emotions at times, and sometimes even doubt. But Yahweh Shai is that perfect example of faith because he showed us how to pray when trouble comes, or adversity, or struggle. He taught us how to, remember he went up to the Garden of Gethsemane and he prayed to the Father. He didn't just walk straight into it like I got this. No, he prayed. Even when the storm came, just like storms arrive and they disappear, the same way troubles, doubt, emotions, struggle, adversity, all these things pop up just like a storm. And it seems like they last forever. But what did Yahweh do? He prayed to the Father, and then he also showed the spirit of stoicism. He didn't move in haste, all right, on the boat where he rebuked the storm, rebuked the winds. That was an example of the Lord saying what we can do to struggles and trouble that arises, all right, and of course, physical troubles, the Lord would lead you to train yourself, all right. You got to have physical training as well for strategy here on this earth. But anyway, yeah. So he said what? Uh, and he gave some apostles and some prophets and some evangelists and some pastors and teachers. All right, you have this all within the camps today. All right, apostles, men that are sent out. All right, prophets, which every we all prophets now in this truth. The elect that are the teaching. If you're teaching this truth, is basically the spirit of prophecy. And some evangelists, all right, going out to teach. Um, and some pastors and teachers. Okay, pastors basically teaching and watching over the camps. Same thing as a teacher, serving the Lord. I'm not gonna get into them definitions, but I just want to keep going. It says for the what? For the perfecting of the saints. See, so even we play a part. He said, one man watereth, another man planteth, and it's the Lord that gives the increase. So we begin to what? Edify, which means to build up, just like the ants do. It's crazy, man. For the perfecting of the saints. So we're being perfected in faith. What's happening with you right now? Well, I don't know what's going on in my life. Why is this happening? It's the Lord perfecting you. But I don't like that this happened. Well, he never said we were going to like these things. His whole goal is to perfect us, which makes us what? Which is going to make us uncomfortable until we're comfortable. That's why he gave us the comforter to comfort us. All right. Because he knew it was going to be uncomfortable as we're being perfected. For the work of the ministry, for the edifying of the body of Yahweh Shai, all right, to build up what? Till we all come into the unity of faith. We're all being built to that united faith, that level of faith that Yahweh Shai has shown, right? We'll never reach that example, that level, but he's bringing us to that likeness. Till we all come into the unity of faith and of that's Revelation 7, the 144,000, a small multitude, and of the knowledge of the Son of Yahweh, because Yahweh wants everyone to know about his Son, our King Yahweh Shai, all at least all the elect, you know, to have faith in Yahweh Shai, in Yahweh through Yahweh Shai, unto a perfect man. So we're going to be in the likeness of this perfect man. He's been made the standard unto the measure of the stature of the fullness, damn, of Yahweh Shai. Man, so he bringing us into the measure and of the stature of that fullness of faith that's within him, the fullness of righteousness and spirit. He's the example. He's the standard that we're going to be risen to. Right? Yahweh Shai is. Remember, everything has been put under his feet. He's been exalted on every point, as it says in the book of Revelations. 7 horns, meaning exalted on every level. Right? So right here it says what? What was I looking at? Oh, stature. So we're being brought to the stature, time of life, term of length of life, immortality, maturity. Damn, adult age. suitable age for anything to rule the world. All right, so we're not just babes anymore. We're growing up into gods of an attained state fit for a thing's stature in height and comeliness of stature. All right, so we're being brought to that uh there you go. And fame. It'd be like fame too, and being exalted. This is Luke 2 and 51. Let's go there. And he went down with them and came to Nazareth and was subject unto them. But his mother kept all these things in her heart. Talking about Yahushua and his mother Mary. And Yahushua increased in wisdom. See, that's what we're doing. We're being increased. And stature, all right? So in his being exalted. And in favor with Yahweh and man. Okay? So this is what the Lord is doing to us right now, building us the same way that he built Yahushua. Building us to that suitable age for anything, in height and comeliness of stature. Hold up. In maturity, in length of life. So building us to that, to immortality. He said, what? Building us from that, um, he said, put away from the immortal thoughts and put on immortality. All right, that's the bride being prepared, being built. So let's go back here. It says, I'm going to read a couple of verses because I'm getting all these scriptures. Faithfulness to Yahweh. It says, Sirach chapter 2 and 2, my child, if you're going to serve the Lord, be prepared for times when you will be put to the test. All right, prepare thy soul for temptation. Be sincere and determined. Keep calm when trouble comes. So basically, what? Move not in haste in time of trouble. So the Lord's telling you what? Keep calm when trouble comes. And, we don't want to invite it, but keep calm. And that's what Neo was being taught. This is what Yahushua was trying to show us, to keep calm when trouble comes and look for the Lord's sign. He said, what? Um, there you go. 1 Corinthians 10 and 13, there have no temptation taken you, but such as is common to man. See, just like temptation that Yahushua went through. But Yahweh is faithful, even when we're not, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that ye are able. All right. But will, with the temptation, also make a way to escape, that ye may be able to bear it. Because he wants you to make it. That's the goal. If you're of the elect. All right. He'll always try to have a way out for you. So be sincere, Sirach 2 and 2. Be sincere and determined. All right, determined, man. Have your mind focused on the kingdom. Keep calm when trouble comes. All right, even um, trouble within your family or your household. Keep calm. That way, say don't be a lion in your own household or amongst your family members. But instead, stay calm. Matter of fact, uh, was that what's that word I'm looking for? Can't think of the word right now. but it makes I can't think of it right now. But basically, it means to stay calm. All right, it's a word in the scripture, but it's basically saying to stay calm. Um, let me see. If this is it. Yeah, here you go. First Peter's 5:8. Be sober, meaning basically what? Stay calm. Be alert. Be vigilant. All right, don't get in. Don't be driven by emotions and all over the place, but stay sober, meaning sound mind, and stay calm, just like the water. Don't let things trouble your water. Be vigilant. All right, keep your eyes open. Don't hide your eyes. Show that you're looking. You're watching everything. All right, be vigilant and watching over yourself because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion. So imagine this on a dark path. The Lord saying, "Hey, watch your step. All right, be cautious because you're gonna go through trouble, just like a roaring lion that is hunting out there. You got to be cautious, seeking whom he may devour." All right, so get you to trip up and trap yourself in these different situations out here. So the Lord telling us what? Stay calm. Don't act in haste or violence, or vengeance or doubt. Or another one is lust. What's another word I'm looking for? Low self-esteem. All right, hate. So he's telling us what? Be sincere and determined and keep calm when trouble comes. Like if you lose your job, just keep calm. Your family that threatened to leave you over it, keep calm. You still got the Most High. He can give you everything back. Stay with the Lord. See, Sirach 2 and 3. Stay with the Lord. Never abandon Him, and you will be prosperous at the end of your days. All right. So it's not about just here you go. How you spell this, man? All right. There you go. This is Matthew 6 and 33. But seek ye first the kingdom of Yahweh. No, let's go here. Matthew 6 and 30. Wherefore, if Yahweh so clothe the grass of the field, which today is and tomorrow is cast into the oven, just like these bodies, but on grass is on a more normal basis where you cook vegetables, cut it down, but he still feeds them. The Lord takes his time to feed grass, insects, everything on the earth. But you think he's not going to feed us and take care of us? Well, he said what? Esau, he put Esau in the way because we were being wicked. So once he moved them out of the way, we'll see our true existence in the cycle of this life that he created. All right. And our position is the top of the food chain. To and tomorrow is cast into the oven. Shall he not much more clothe you, O ye of little faith? Take therefore take no thought. See, take no thought. Don't be worrying, saying, "What shall we eat? Or what shall we drink? Or where will shall we be clothed?" That's what a lot of Jake on the street, they start robbing each other and selling drugs because this is how they think. You grew up around this your whole life. Got to get it how to live, man. All right. They put that worry and that panic on us through the conditions they raise us. We've been raised in, called ghettos. For after all these things do the Gentiles seek. For your heaven, yeah, Yep, 2/3 of our people and these heathens. For your heavenly Father knoweth that ye have need of all these things. So the Lord going to provide a way. So you don't need to move in haste or panic or doubt. Let's get that word haste. Moving in haste, if you lose, say when you lost a woman or you lost money or a job or your car or even your house, you know, the Lord is still with you or your health. All right. The English word haste, it says what? Meaning urgency, hastiness, violence, struggle, strife. All right. It says what? Where was that? What was I reading? Here you go. But seek ye first the kingdom of Yahweh and his righteousness. And that's something that can be attainable today. The righteousness that he's guiding you to. He's able to make a poor man rich, not only physically, but also spiritually in a moment. All right. But just like the plants, the Lord is going to do everything in decently and in order. He's going to groom you and grow you to the perfection. I mean, he's taking his time with you. But seek ye first the kingdom of Yahweh and his righteousness, all right, not our own or this world. And all these things shall be added to you. Take therefore no thought for tomorrow. See, that brings anxiety, stressing about the past, worrying about tomorrow, and being absent minded in the present. That's not good. That's called anxiety. Anxiety is basically not trusting God, all right, to do what you believe He can do in your life and what He promised us to as a nation. So we got to have what? Trust. What's trust? Faith. Faithfulness to Yahweh. Take therefore no thought for tomorrow, for tomorrow shall take thought for the things of itself. Sufficient unto the day is the evil thereof. All right. So the Lord gonna give you everything sufficient, even in faith, to make it through each day until we get to the kingdom. If you think you don't have enough to get through this right now, you got more than enough with just a mustard seed. They say what the storm took, let it go. But what's left, rebuild. Use it to rebuild. All right. So keep calm when trouble comes. Stay with the Lord. Stay in the truth, man. Never abandon him. All right. So if you lose something, you're like, I'm out. I'm gonna stop teaching and all this. Or you will be, and you will be prosperous at the end of your days. Not only at the end of your days, but while you're on the earth too. All right? At the end of your days, the Lord said what? He'll say, well done, thou good and faithful servant. And you'll have favor in the time of our transition. Accept whatever happens to you. All right. Even if you suffer humiliation, be patient. What's humiliation? Okay. It's like shipwreck, to be abasement, meaning humbling, lowly. When we're brought to a low estate, tied to being brought low, and financially, emotionally, relationship wise, whatever status, all right, low estate, to be low, make low or humble, to be put to shame or disgrace. So when somebody is brought to this point, external humbling or internal, that turns a person back toward reliance on Yahweh. Ooh, All right. So what happens if we continue to rely on him? Will we need to be humbled? Maybe. It's up to him. Verse 4, Sirach 2 and 4. Accept whatever happens to you, even if you suffer humiliation, be patient. Yahweh is tested. Salakia. Gold is tested by fire. All right, I thought it said God, but couldn't see it. But yeah, gold is tested by the fire, and humility and human character. Our character is being tested in the furnace of humiliation. Mm, 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 mm. Get a job, lose it. People persecute you. Your family turn against you, or your household. You lose anything. So we're being tested. Our character is being tested. So the Lord is shaping our character in the likeness of Yahweh. All right. A lot of us was brought up to be violent. You got to peel away a lot of those layers in your reactions, not acting in impulse. What if you grew up in a peaceful environment? What type of mind would you have? Would you have the reactions to or responses to situations and people the way you've had them growing up, being brought from the hood or violent households? But what if we'd have been brought up peaceful, right? Will we still have those responses? So we have to be. Our character has to be reformed, man. Getting out of that mortal mind state, crying over women, bowing down to Esau, thinking we're lesser than him, envy of the rich and famous. All right, idolatry, all these things. The Lord is reshaping our character. He said, "What, man? Kind of." It says, Galatians 6, no, 2 Corinthians 5 and 17. Therefore, if any man be in Yahweh Shai, all right, in the truth, he is a new creature. Old things are passed away. Behold, all things are become new. So the Lord is literally making you into a new creature. You may have to literally reintroduce yourself to everybody that was in your life growing up, that thought they knew you, that thought they knew the carpenter Yahweh Shai, but not knowing that he's the son of Yahweh. He had to reintroduce himself. Allow me to reintroduce myself, right? We have to realize that we become new creatures. If not, the Lord will show us. He'll reintroduce us to these people, and we have opportunity to either backslide, trim our ways to seek love, or stand and continue our growth. You know, in the face of adversity, in the face of people, anything. Even when we're alone, wrestling with emotions and doubt. That's the first battle. Ourselves. What happened when you begin to believe that things will go good? What happened when you believe that things today will be sunny instead of storms? Because the Lord is working things out for you. What happens when there is a storm and you believe that the sun is still shining behind it? Instead of sitting there beating yourself up, doubting. We're supposed to be being new creatures, new mindset, new attitude. Who is that? Patty LaBelle? I got a new attitude. All right. So it says what? Trust in, where is it at? Verse 6. Trust in the Lord and he will help you. Walk straight in his ways. So just keep trusting the Lord, man. And keep walking straight in his ways, on a strict path, man. And put your hope in him. All right. That's it. And we're gonna put our hope in the Lord. I'm gonna end it there, man. I think the next lesson I'm gonna do is gonna be called Yahweh Ratazah, be called All Ye That Fear the Lord, Wait for Him to Show You His Mercy. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and get that title now. All right, so yeah, man, this title here was Faithfulness to Yahweh. And let's see where it's gonna lead us. We've seen every other path, man. It led us to more shipwreck, more drama, more doubt, more questioning. But with Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, there's answers. All right. There's true growth, reality, understanding, completeness, perfection. So this is what we want. I'm gonna end it there, man. Hopefully this was edifying. And I'll see you on the next one. Hey, shalom.
Like a sheep led to still waters, like a sheep led to deep pastures. Lead me to rest, lead me to calmness, lead me to peace, lead me to safety, lead me to you, Lord. Like a sheep led